Hello, ladies. I hope you are all good. Hi, Kalyana. Hi, Matnat. Hi, Elaine. Glad you made it. Hi, Karen. So, today is the big day. We're gonna actually cover the sphere with canes, and I did do quite a bit of reduction, as you can see from the stuff that we did. Now here, remember, this was a triangle, and all I did was to just put them pretty much cut in half, flip, and put it together. Hi Sharon. Hi Darla. So in order to work on this, and I'm not going to hide anything to you, you're going to have like at least 2 bakes. But if you want to make it really as close to perfection as possible, you might need to do more than 2 bakes. Okay? So, hi Sharon, hi Francis, hi Kim, hi Misa, hi Lydia. So, first of all, you need to make yourself a little stand to work on it, because if you keep going like this, you are going to touch it and it's not going to be nice. Oh, I hope you're not. Where are you actually? Let's check the radar, because I'm supposed to have rain for like the next almost a week. I see that Alabama's got storms. Going into Georgia, and goodness, Canada's got tornado watch. Goodness gracious me, that is bad. North of Vermont and Maine, but I don't see any storm there actually. So, hello to Michigan. So, as you can see, what I got is a paper towel that I rolled, and I am going to give it a twist. And then bring it together, but let's see if it's big enough. Yes, it is. Maybe even more of a twist to give it some dimension. And then I'm going to grab some paper tape. Yeah. Well, I actually had to turn on the heat this morning, because we went from 96 degrees to 57, and even lower, it was in the 40s at night. So yeah, not very pleasant. Okay, then I'm making it as round as possible. So what you want is to start from one end, and it doesn't really matter which end. Just make sure that you don't go with, I mean, you can actually, you can go with one of these. Just remember, when you put these together, do not put the lines together. They have to kind of start differently. So, as I said, first I'm going to use, thank you, I'm going to use this little, let me grab a cane slicer. Depends on the brand. Some brands are stickier than others. For example, Fimo is fairly sticky, and sometimes Cernit. Depends on the line of Cernit we are talking about. Okay, So this is just a regular, and I explained how I did this, is just white with fuchsia and yellow, and I just made the white and fuchsia very, very end blended Skinner blend, and then I made a rolled plug, and then I pressed it down and I put a little snake of yellow in it, and then yellow in the middle. So I'm going to first cut a slice of this, because this will be my round start, and I've kept this untouched so that I would have a good, it wouldn't flatten when I cut for quite a while. And the problem will be to try and keep the same thickness, because otherwise you're going to have a lot of sanding to do. So I'm going to go for about 1.5 millimeters, and it's not very straight. I'm going to cut it off camera because it's very hard to cut it like that. Don't drop it. And obviously we are going to need to use Bake and Bond, obviously. Paper towel to have to wipe my hands, my fingers, and then I'm going to place this and make sure it is as round as possible. Now, to help you with this, give me just a second. If you have round cutters, you can use them to just make the whole thing more precise. And I don't really have a good, but I guess it's going to have to work as is. And you want to bring it as good as possible to a straight, perfectly straight line. Because how you started is super important. This is what's going to determine how good your sphere is going to look. Okay, then where's my white? Where's my white? I lost my white. Did I run out of white? Great. Let's grab this one. So I'm going to use a white. You can use any other color you want. And this one is very contaminated. Never mind. hate it when stuff gets when stuff gets messed up because a lot of fault of mine. Okay. Alright. So first I'm going to place a line of white. And actually I need this a little bit thinner because not on the thickest setting. This should work. I went on the third setting on the makings, so let me actually see if this is the correct. Yes, it is the correct thickness. So let's give it a line first so that we can start adding stuff. And I'm going to do a diagonal cut here. Oops. I'm dropping stuff all over the place. Again, make sure that I have good enough bacon bond here. And here you want to go a little bit thicker with the bacon bond because you want to have the possibility to slide. And you place it with the longest end of that diagonal cut towards the inside. And then let's make sure that this is well nice and blended here. It was the second. In the first live I did the sphere. I showed you how to make the hollow sphere. In the second part I showed how to make the flower cane. Then the third part was the butterfly. And there we go. And you want to make sure that the outside is perfectly straight. Okay, now I think we can go ahead and do a little bit of the let's give it some more lines. And one trick I'm going to show you, and you'll have to put more Hi Skywalker, more stuff after it gets baked. I mean, you can use the itty bitty doodlers from PolyClay Play. If you have a flower camper cutter, let me see if this is, no, these are the stars. I know that I have flowers somewhere here too. Yes, I should have flowers somewhere here too. These are hearts. Where's my flowers? My flowers are somewhere. I don't know where. Maybe on this huge mass of stuff that's on my table, because I keep trying to finish stuff for another de-stash. No, these are definitely hearts. Probably did something with them and didn't put them back right away. And that's why I'm so always trying to put stuff back. No, this is round, this is round, this is teardrop. So yeah, I don't know where my flowers are. So we're gonna just use the doodlers. Okay, next one I'm going to use a black, just to give it more oomph. Okay, so again, this goes on the third setting. Prepare the bacon bond. You get out of here, you get out of here. Hello, Carla. Alrighty. Now this one is going to be a wider piece. And as before, I'm going to place a diagonal cut on it. Yeah, I know, I need several days, not just one. But I'm not done yet. So you'll have to very gently coax the clay into place, because remember, especially when you go on trips like this, it might not want to listen. I said listen, and I instantly popped into my head the blue song. Oops. Finnegan. Yeah, Finnegan, yesterday I had Saturday mornings, I always have lives with my sponsors. And right now we are doing a sculpting series, and I had all my clay ready and nicely conditioned and all that, and I come here and I find it on the floor covered in Finnegan floofs. So yeah, that didn't make me very happy. Okay, so here we go for a little bit of feathering. I am not going to pay any attention yet to the very ends, but I'm going to still try and figure out the size of cutter I'm going to use. This should be good to make sure that I get perfect circles. And let me give it just a little bit of oomph here to make sure everything is in place and where it belongs. Remember, all the little things you have here, they are going to be sanded off once you sand the whole thing. Now let's take a small doodler, not doodle. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Hi, Hirasuna. Okay. And this big, it's a little bit too small. Let's go with this one. Okay, and I'm going to go for to be easier for me to figure out where to place them so they wouldn't go left or right like crazy. I'm going to place them exactly where each petal is. Just careful with the distance from the white. And when you do this, the clay will be a little bit pushed, but don't worry about that. So this should be good. And now I can go in between because I have a reference point. Alrighty, let me put it back. And very gently remove these, and after it's baked I'm going to fill it with another color. Yeah, Finnegan especially steals beads, but sometimes he will attack raw clay. Now, to be honest, your best bet would be to actually do 3 bakes, because you're gonna have to do one part till close to the middle, then start the other part from the other end if you want to make it perfectly symmetrical on both ends, and come close to the middle and then do the very middle. Why are you saying that? Why are you saying it's not your clay day? I have a lot of not clay days. I mean, the whole bad weather around here really did a number on me. Alrighty. So we have a little here that needs to be removed. So as I said, I want to make it a little bit kinda sorta like to make it look kinda sorta like China. Okay. Alright, let's give it another bacon bond here. And now we are going to go with the flour. Now for the flour, to make sure that I'm getting good well cut lines, okay, let's measure it. It is pretty much 10 centimeters, so I'm going to cut it in 4. Alright, now to put it together, we're going to go like this and make sure you fix it on both ends. Same for this one. And there we go. Yes, I did cut holes in the black clay that once the whole thing is baked, I'm going to fill with probably fuchsia. And you want these to be very well stuck together. So, because this way I'm going to cut even slices compared to trying to cut the slices of just a little cane. I'm gonna probably have like 3, maybe 3.5. Let me cut 4 just to be on the safe side. And one thing that you need to do is to make sure that the ends are perfectly straight so that you can put them together. No, these are not yet the butterflies. The butterflies will be here soon. Okay, now let's place them. Come off. And as I said, you have to be very careful here because you want them to be, there's rearranging you'll do after you place them. Because obviously the outside of it will be wider than the inside of it. But I'll show you here in a second how to do that. I might actually need an extra slice. We'll see here. I need 1 slice or 2 slices. I mean of the small ones. to still cut a full one here, but I'm going to separate it in the middle and gently press inwards a little bit. This is not well pressed. Okay, now as you can see, there are areas where they are separating on the ends and areas where they don't seem very well kissing each other on the inside. So now we are going to do a little bit of damage control, and I'm going to grab a smaller roller. So first of all, I'm going to go on the inside. I'm going to go on the inside, and just bringing it from the other side is going to move stuff the way it's supposed to be moved. Now, where it starts separating, start kind of like from the middle and go outwards. Again, from the middle and go outwards. And there we go. And the same here. Just don't press too hard on the bottom. I'm going to come back and push them. Okay, there's one more here. It does have a look of China, doesn't it? Okay, now let's get back and push what is. Yes, I love polymer clay because of that. It's so versatile. So going back and pushing stuff. And see, just very gently push them together here. Actually, I got a wonderful idea about the box that I think you guys might like. Covering the box with this kind of very easy to make canes that are not, I mean, not complicated in the least. Canes. Okay, now let me grab another one. And what I'm doing with this, I'm not cutting. You saw me before, but I'm not cutting. What I'm doing is just going like this to even out the edges, because I'm interested in them being even like this. I don't care much about any very slight differences, because those get sanded off. All right, there we go. Now let's give it another white. Okay, and And I'm going to do the white with maybe some stars or some hearts, maybe. Got a little bit of contamination here. Because I did some black in the machine and I didn't wipe the machine. Let's see. And there we go. Now, I might need 2 lines of this. Let me make it longer. And after this we put the butterflies. Okay. So and by the way, these you get from Tiny Pandora, these blades that are very long and very sturdy. It's the sturdiest blade I've ever had, I've ever worked with. You know what, I might want to put some black in there. Want to put some black in there. Let me first grab some bacon bond. What are you talking about 18 now? Oh, it was about the coffee thing? Dang, that makes us very, very old. You do realize that. Alrighty, so alrighty, so let's put a line of black as before and give it a diagonal cut. With a very thin line, you have to be very careful because it will have the tendency to twist on you. Okay, now let's do the white. Get off. Get off my white. Hi, Tina. This is not good. Here. Didn't go straight. Alrighty. Let me grab my... No, you are not. I talk to everything. To the computer, to... when I'm cooking, to my cooking implements, all kinds of stuff. Come on, come out of there. There we go. Alrighty, so I'm going to do the same thing and just put the little heart under these flowers. Just very careful at the distance between the black and the white, and I mean the black line and the why aren't you sitting there properly? There we go. Yeah, I think I'm going to use some magenta pearl to fill in the little hearts, and then again I'm going in between them. I did put one a little bit too high, but let's hope it's not going to be that big of a deal. Oh, absolutely. We did earn that. Come out. Dang, that was like Maleficent, the come out thing. Remember where when the prince hid in a cave and Maleficent was a teenage fairy and told him to come out right now. Oh, I cast on a regular basis and pretty much in private, but you have to think about the fact that If I'm in public, I can cuss in Romanian and nobody understands a thing of what I'm saying. They can get the gist, of course, by my tone of voice. Yes, and that's exactly the idea, Kim. Wendy, sorry. That's right. And you can actually make the whole sphere just with cutouts. It's going to still look pretty. It's going to look fabulous. If you don't mind me saying. It's the sticky white. Now let's go around and do a little bit of damage control. Because I felt that I hit with my nail in a couple spots. So here, where it was the common joint problem, and there we go with more. So first it's going to be black, and then it's going to be the butterflies. And you know what? I think I'm going. Remember my method of chopping up pearlescent, and it makes such great effects, especially on cabochons and stuff. I think I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do that with magenta pearl here, and here where I forgot to remove a dot. And here I might make it with a rose gold. I mean, go like one part of white pearl with half a part of, so considering the square 1.5 inches, put one full square of white pearl for half a square of gold, and 1/4 square of magenta pearl to make a rose gold style thing. Or I might make them rose gold, all of the cutouts, because they're gonna look different in white compared to black, right? And after the butterflies I will stop, because I'm getting to the middle, so it's going to get baked, and then I'm going to do it on the other side, but I'm not going to do this live, obviously. So next time I will just present it to you finished, baked and sanded and all that good stuff. Stay there. I'm struggling to not let it twist on me, because it wants to twist. Oh, look at that. And I need to trim my fingernails, which is a pain. Actually, I need the rigid one. About 40 minutes. The first one, just 20, because it's going to get baked again. The very last one, I'm going to do 40 minutes, the middle. And I don't think we need to do the middle, right? That would add another extra session. Oh yes, you can do that too. I don't know if you remember when I did the faux bird, I actually used cutouts of faux mother of pearl. Alrighty, now let's grab the butterfly, which I might even go smaller with. Let's see. It is it's 5 inches. Almost. Alrighty. Okay, now one and a quarter. So I'm going to do the same type of line that I did with the flower. Only that obviously they are going to be in the same direction, right? So you are. That's awesome. Alrighty, and again, you need to make sure that they are well stuck together. Hey, that was funny. All right, so it's gonna be pretty much 6 slices. But see what pretty effect these do when you reduce them a lot. Okay, I need to cut them from above because I'm cutting in a diagonal. I'm gonna cut 7 just to be on the safe side because I think one of my previous slices was a little bit uneven. Alrighty, now do I want to put them with the, yeah, I think I do, with the big facing up or facing down? That's the question. Now you see the general effect. You don't know how to sharpen a blade on the back of a mug? I think I'm going to need 1 extra. Or not. Actually, this one is too thin on this side. I was saying that I'm not cutting perfectly straight. This one is a little bit too thick on one side, but better too thick than too thin. Alrighty, so now you see I have just a tiny bit of space. So I'm going to gently pull a little bit. That's why I said you need to put a lot of the, more than normal of the bacon bun, because you want to be able to slide stuff. And just go in between each of these slices to make sure that the ends line up properly. Will this have any kind of use? No, it's purely decorative. But you can make a, you obviously can make a box like that. And remember that I do have a few box tutorials, including one where I show you how to make a blank box that you don't have to keep any kind of baking blank inside. So you might have to go 2 or 3 times over the whole length just to make sure that everything is nice and stuck to each other. But now you see why I wanted to do the line instead of cutting slice by slice. It not only makes things easier, but it also makes things more even. Okay, now I'm going to be going like this one time and then go again with the roller over it, just to make sure that everything is in line and nicely rounded up and even. So little butterflies. But it will be light enough to also play with it, and most likely it wouldn't shatter if you drop it because it's plastic. If you bake it properly, it should be fairly strong. Now remember that even if you might be able to see some lines, once you sand it, you're going to go under, and because they are canes, obviously you don't sand away the pattern at all. At this point I actually might want to go with a little bit of a cut. And we are pretty much done for this end of the sphere. As I said, once you get close to the middle, stop, because you need to start on the other end. And your best bet for the other end, because you might go, yeah, but what if I go off center? I will show you what to do not to go off center. Okay, what to do when you start on the other side, because I'm done with this side. You grab the round cutter that is the closest to the size of the cane that you started with. So obviously it's going to be this one, right? And just place it on here, and then place the sphere on it so that the top is dead center. And then all you have to do is to hold it. Of course I'm not holding it here, but after it's baked you can hold it. Just make sure that it is perfectly in the center on the top, and then you can grab a pencil and just go around and you'll notice. Yes, pretty much 20 minutes, 20 minutes, and then 40 minutes. I might even go more than 40, 45, or 50, just to make sure that everything is good. But yeah, it depends on the clay. There are some clays that do shrink, but depends on the brand. The Premo doesn't really shrink. Generally speaking, the poorer the quality, the more it shrinks. There are clays that it's more often that they change color when they get baked. But anyway, next time I'm going to show you how it looks like. That's when I'm going to start putting photos on the thumbnails of the previous lives. And yeah, I'm going to put a question in the community tab as well on the YouTube, as well as on the Facebook page, asking you what would you like to see in my next lives, and we'll go from there. And I will choose the ones that get the most likes. But also remember that what you need to suggest is something that can be done within an hour. Because remember, I'm sorry and I apologize, but I cannot really sit on a chair longer than an hour without starting to be in pain. Oh, this would look pretty like for a ring. Huh. Maybe I'll make a ring. And very delicate thin bangles. Alright, I hope you liked it and you'll make your own. Remember, if you go on the channel and you look in videos, you'll find part 1, part 2, part 3, and this is part 4. And you can work with yours. As I said, if you replace the fuchsia with cobalt, you're going to get a cobalt china look. This is pink china look. Okay, so this is the little sphere, and of course you can do these with 4 gemstones. You can do these with all kinds of stuff. As I said, you can just do little cutouts like this, just layers and stripes and stripes of layers of cutouts, and it will still be fine. Alrighty, I will see you next Sunday, and don't forget to check so you can give me your suggestion about what you want to see in the next lives. Bye everybody, have a wonderful week to come.